What we're going to do now is we're going to create curtain walls together. So what I'll do is I'll just select those and delete them. Go back to my ground floor plan and come down to the front of the building. Just so, or it can be on the side, it's up to yourself. As long as you have a clean drawing space. When I go to our wall tool, we're going to select the curtain wall empty. And before we draw it, we're going to go to edit type, duplicate, and we're going to rename it to curtain wall entrance. Press OK, and then just place it. Okay, so for this curtain wall, these will be the dimensions of the curtain wall. So first off, the width is 6445. So we'll change the width of our curtain wall to 6445. Now that we've done the width, the next step will be to create a section view right in front of our curtain wall so we get a nice clean elevation of the curtain wall. What I'll do is just reduce the depth of view so we don't see any of the building behind. Then double tap the beak just to open it up. And there's our curtain wall. So our height here is 6 meters, so 6,000. So what we'll do is we can select our curtain wall, come to the properties section, change our top constraint to unconnected. And we've got two options. We can change the unconnecting height here to 6,000. Or once we change our top constraint to unconnected, we can use the temporary dimension here. So our width is 6445, our height is 6,000. So next we're going to add in our segments. So the first one we're going to do is add in the center one. So to do that, we'll go to our curtain grid, hover over the horizontal edge, and we'll get that vertical segment. And you'll notice my temporary dimensions are already equally spacing me either side. So I know that that segment is centered. So click once, place our first segment. Next we have either side by a meter. So we can go curtain grid. Again, just placing them either side. And once they're placed, we'll then select it and change the temporary dimension to 1,000 either side. Then the next vertical segments are equally spaced between the remainder. So again, when I hover over the horizontal section, I'm getting an equally spaced segment either side. So next, we're going to add in the 2200, up 500, up 300. Same again, 2200, up 500, up 300. So curtain grid, hover over the vertical side. First dim is 2200, up 500, up 300. And then again 2200, up 500. So we have up 2200, up 500, up 3, 2200, 500, 300. Lastly there, we'll just remove this inner segment here. So we'll select the segment. Once it's selected, then we get the add remove and select the area we want to remove. So next what we're going to do is we're going to add in a panel, a different panel in here. So in order to select the panel, hover over the edge, just clicking the tab key once at a time and just running through each one of the panels. Once the panel that we want to change becomes highlighted in blue, click once with the mouse to make the selection. So if we go to our properties palette there in the type selector. Under system panel, we only have glazed and solid, but we want to import more from the library. So in order to do that, double escape, go to the insert tab at the top. Then we'll go to load from family and we'll select load family. So it's the same UK library we've been using from before. This time we'll go down to curtain wall panels. And there we have a couple of curtain wall panels. So there's an empty, glazed, multi-glazed, opaque, and so on. So what I want you to do is to select any one of those double doors. Again, it's not important which one. Or you could select the revolving door, it's up to yourself. So we'll use any one of the double doors. I'm going to select the first one. Press OK, and now it's in our project. So now we just have to select our panel. So again, I'm going to hover over that segment, selecting the tab key until the panel becomes highlighted. Left click with the mouse and now it's selected. Go into the type selector and there you can see is our glass double door. So select that. Again, don't click on the gray section here. That's just a heading. The actual component is just below it. So select and there we have our panel changed. Then we go back to our architecture tab, and last we're going to apply the mullions to all of our segments. So we'll select mullion. Again, we can do it individually if we wanted to, or we can go all grid lines. If you go to the type selector, there you'll see the different types of mullions that we can select. Again, it's up to you if you want to choose something different, but I'm just going to stick with the 50 by 150. Again, if you wanted to use something else, that's okay. I'm going to use the all grid lines. Select the segments and that's it, we're done. So we'll go to our 3D view. And that there is our curtain wall. So the last thing to do is to just insert it into the building. If you open up the PDF 017 curtain walling, you'll see the position of the curtain wall itself. So I'm just going to delete this section view. So again, remembering when we want to move the curtain wall, you've got to look for that H symbol. Click, and that is the curtain wall itself. Then you can click and drag. So I want you to place it in front of the wall. So if I now click and drag that onto the wall, the curtain wall will just disappear into the wall. It'll say that the highlighted walls are overlapping and so on. And if I go to my 3D view, we can't see the curtain wall because it's inside the wall. So there's one last step that we need to do to make sure that the curtain wall cuts out the wall itself. To do that, we'll select the curtain wall, go to Edit Type, and the second one down there, automatically embed. So right now it's got no tick, it's not turned on. So if we tick that on, press OK, and now when we drop and drag it on into the building, it'll automatically cut out the wall. To make the final adjustments, you can again make sure you're selecting the H symbol, use the arrow keys, you can shift it up and down, left and right. So the final position of the curtain wall isn't extremely important, so just get it roughly where you want it to be. We can use the arrow keys to shift it left and right, up and down, so on. The door itself is an active door, so if you click on it, we have our flipping arrows to flip the door inside and out. And we want to then copy this curtain wall from this position over to the other wall as we have in the PDF. So again, selecting the curtain wall, using the copy tool, copy it out. And then selecting it again, using the rotate tool, rotate it around. And again, click, drag and drop. And that's our first curtain wall.